The image of Nick "Honey Badger" Cummins dressed in 1950s garb and hip-thrusting his way across a set of lanes in a bowling alley threatens to override all other happenings in episode 13 of The Bachelor. It's the scene that kicks off Tuesday night's show, and Cummins is certainly serving a look, so much so, it's difficult to remember what else happened in the episode. He would be described as aggressively 50s, with his curly hair pulled back into an intense pompadour, and his plaid pants leaving nothing to the imagination. And his moves? Well, they are bang on, and he knows it. Fred Moore *, Bachelor, you should have just kissed me *, The Bachelor Australia, Brooke's big secret angers fans *, Nick Cummins eliminates Bachelorette for bad behavior *, The Bachelor goes a step too far with Unreal-style runaway Bachelorette *, kisses, catfights and a secret kid, The Bachelor episode to end them all *, can't believe I shaved my legs for this *, she came in hot, Bachelor used Nick "Honey Badger" Cummins already ducking kissing. Oh, really, look at that hair. The final 6 bachelorettes arrive for the 10-pin bowling group date, and they're enthralled with Cummins' get-up, mostly because the polo shirt allows for his biceps to bulge as God intended. If you hadn't already guessed, the date had an old-school twist to it, but the women quickly sent off to get dolled up in appropriate attire. When they return, Cummins practically has to cool himself off. Apparently, that looked that 1950s. It just does something for him. The rules for the date: first bachelorette to get a strike gets to spend time with the bachelor in the back of a prop Cadillac that's housed in the bowling alley, until the next girl knocks all the pins down and gets to take the former girl's place. It's speed dating, Bachelor style, and like most speed dating scenarios, it lacks a certain depth and quality. That depth comes later though, when the women are asked to write letters to their 2028 selves. They each spend time pouring their hearts out onto paper, before being told they'll need to read what they wrote out loud to the group. Like primary school, but much, much worse. We rate the releases for you. Sign up for our 5 stars newsletter. Cass goes first, and she barely gets through the first sentence of her letter before she's crying. The lovelorn sweetheart from Sydney tells Cummins and the bachelorettes, though they were but a blip on her radar at this point, that her future self found her soulmate at 23 and is happily loved up 10 years on. Considering Cass is 23 and head over heels for the honey badger, it becomes painfully obvious that she's talking about him, and he doesn't seem all that moved by it, though he does proffer a decent amount of consoling as she cries into her paper. The women take turns reading out their letter, and aside from Cass, it's Dasha who struggles the most. Bowling has reminded her of her 5-year-old son Leon, and she's missing the little guy, but Cummins convinces her to keep reading, to keep sharing her story with them all, and she pushes on. Brittany's letter to herself is humorous, goal-oriented and a lot less serious than the other women's, and clearly that's what Cummins is in the mood for, because she wins a solo date with him once the group date has wrapped up. Cummins still fancies Brittany, folks. Their date is fine, and relatively unremarkable. Everyone knows they've got a connection, and Brittany's a sure thing for the finale, and they don't give us anything new to dwell on, except that when they kiss, it's Brittany doing the initiating this time. Does it mean anything? Probably not, but at this late stage of the game, the smallest thing could mean everything, and it's much more fun to read into ridiculous details. The next day, or week, who knows, with this show's tricky timeline, Cummins has set up its last single date of the season. You may remember Sophie secured it for herself in the previous episode, and now it's the 25-year-old from Queensland's time to shine. The pair are ice skating today. Of course they're both quite good at it, and they eventually face off in a competitive game of ice hockey. Sophie and Cummins' date is actually kinda perfect. Plenty of cute banter, lots of laughs and just enough sexual tension to make the viewers at home feel a little unwelcome. By the time they get to the pool at Cummins' bachelor pad, it's clear these two share a very strong physical attraction to each other, but better than that, they also seem to revel in each other's company. The entire day seems to have served as foreplay for Cummins, and he can barely keep his hands and eyes off Sophie. It's awkward viewing. Cummins and Sophie, pushing the boundaries of their show's time slot. The couple's lusty moments in the pool make for the raciest moment of the season so far, and with that it's clear that Sophie has cemented her place as a frontrunner. Will her connection with The Bachelor outstrip that of Brooke and Brittany? It remains to be seen, but judging on this episode alone, the answer would be a resounding yes. Later, at the cocktail party, reality sets in for the ladies that the end is nigh. All of them want to make sure they get time alone with Cummins so he doesn't doubt their feelings for him, and some go above and beyond in their quest. Cass has gone to great lengths to set up a Hawaiian-themed seating arrangement for her and Cummins, complete with ukuleles, and they spend a long time freestyling funny lyrics about each other. It's fun, but, as with all their dates, it doesn't feel like anything more than that, and you've got to wonder how long he'll be keeping poor Cass around for. The ukuleles were a cute touch. Once the Hawaiian getaway is done, Dasha, who's struggled a bit this episode, decides it's time to show Cummins some pictures of her adorable son, Leon. As Cummins looks at the photos and listens to Dasha talk about her boy, it appears to dawn on him that she's left a lot behind to take on The Bachelor, and simultaneously he seems to realize that, actually, he doesn't quite like her enough to warrant the time away from her child. In that instant, it's clear Dasha will be going home. Sure enough, at the rose ceremony later on, Dasha and Emily, who enjoyed a sweet but somewhat stagnant date with Cummins last week, are sent home, leaving Brooke, Brittany, Sophie and Cass as the final four. No hard feelings, though. Dasha and Emily didn't seem all that sad to miss out on a rose. Maybe it was the pompadour that did it. Sydney Moore